Running away. My wife cheated, swears she didn't go out looking for it, says it is over but still has feelings. I can mostly confirm and see with she was the shy type you would have never expected to. She also is the quiet type, likes to avoid conflict. Now I wonder, after reading all the materials online, if a person's core personality really should be considered when you gauge your reactions to everything in order to get a response. Example: the sure way for her not to talk to me about anything for a longer period of time would be for me to continue acting mad, confronting, yelling. If I behave like her friend again, we can communicate and we have kids. So how do you balance this? Is it like peeling an onion, one layer at a time, to finally have full disclosure and discussion? The look in her eyes now is not anger or sadness. What I saw today was that look a lost child gets. She keeps letting me a little bit closer. This is a very strange place to be in life. I don't like this place. How do I continue to handle this quasi-separation starting now with schedules putting us apart? I was also thinking along the lines of, in order to make any progress no matter the outcome, I know her and have since before our time as a couple. I see her core personality traits actually being part of the problem in recovery. Despite what happens, despite her growth over the years as a person, she still can be quiet and shy. This whole situation will without doubt affect permanent change. Writing. She used to write me good idea. I have taken responsibility for what may have contributed to her seeking an affair, however. I never have been very aggressive with my wife. Hard to know there is a problem or something lacking when all communication indicates nothing of the sort, and now she reveals that slight nice hints for things were saying our marriage was dying. Our biggest conflict verbally came with this reveal of her turned PA. Before that, all disagreements were discussed and I thought resolved. And no, I was not the one getting my way. I have done nothing but love, care, and support my wife in all her endeavors all the years of our marriage. I am trying to figure out how her personality will affect her healing emotionally. This is a woman who is only talking to a counselor unless she has found a new friend. I know everything of the his was the dominant personality. He admitted to making the first phone call that started the conversations that led to all this. I can't really say that status plays a role here. Both middle class type, same age range. is staying with his family. We have 5 kids. She finally admitted she feels leaving is the only option. Will divorce busting and 7 steps even work at this point? It will be a couple of months before she leaves the house. Help, please. She also made reference that there would not be any second chances, and what's the point of a separation? She still gets upset at the final divorce word, but not as much as before. She doesn't want to give me false hope, so it will be hard to tell if anything I do has a real effect, since she intends to maintain a positive attitude either way. I'm calm, feeling more pain and sadness for my kids when it hits. She was more cordial before her 5 days of space this week. She says she figure out budgets, contacted real estate agents. She says it's the only option. I disagree. I am willing to try. She was still somewhat upset when divorce was stated as a sort of fine, that's it. She actually grabbed some responsibility by saying, this is my situation, I created it, and hasn't happened until today. She stated she wants to be able to go out and me not ask where she went and have normal after-work type conversations. I mentally went from 1st to 5th gear and am done asking anything, as hard as it may be. C99 this week. I will give this my best. Also, this week made closure, phone call confirmed by spouse. My doesn't want to talk about it again. She is acting angry and resentful again. She says she wants all this separation. Do I wait on her to take action and see if she really wants that? Also, I know full well not to trust her right now, but her behavior is that of an alien, not the person I have known for over 20 years. I figure she is either done or just wants to see if I will even possibly be able to go a week without our talk. She wants to avoid it. This will be hard, but I am going to doubly back off again and try to be the supportive person. I am wondering if that is what she needs. Her personality always needed that. She always kept things in and avoided conflict. Do I observe and report to myself to determine my next steps? Work on R versus Sika D lawyer. She is expecting me to do something far outside my character in a negative sense regarding house, kids, etc. because she says you never know what someone will do when they are mad. Let's see how today goes. No plans, everyone's together. I am approaching letting go, was holding on to hope for the kids. Thanks, know her well enough to know her body language. She answered an honest no. When I asked if she has spoken to a lawyer, she's using herself for everything. It will show up. Thank God for the blue skies and beautiful day today. I don't know, we are in counseling and have been addressing underlying issues. I think my time frame for progress is through the holidays, more detaching for me if she is serious about finding a place that's time enough, and then the kids won't have my mom move out on Christmas. I will remain vigilant. Thanks. 20 plus years friends, 15 years as a couple. One big screw up on her part. I would be asking for the second chance. Another note to the scenario is I have told her if you need to go then go, still no firm action, and I believe she has squirreled away enough funds for a short-term get out. Well, just messes up. She brought out a budget, it got emotional. She's done, doesn't see a reason to try to even work it and pretend around the kids. She started mentioning things from 8 years ago and I lost it and said fine, if you are that done go now. So she is not going to stay here tonight, maybe not again. There's no good about this, it was emotions. I don't know whether or not to say stay home tonight when she gets back with kids. The after D-Day she left for a day and she is making plans to make a move happen. Savings looking for house. I also think as posted she is in a bit of the fog. I want her to stay but she no matter the outcome needs a break, so do we do a legal separation? We have been separate in the house for 6 to 8. But she is saying the issues go back 10 years. My youngest isn't even 6. Apologized calmly to I told her how seeing the budget separated really upset me. We talked some more. She still feels the need to move out but still wants to buy, so that will take time. I told her no more questions. I still think she is emotionally wrecked by the affair. Dumped her, marriage is in turmoil. I can see some of her emotional pain. She is beginning to take responsibility for what happened, but she does not like conflict. She leaves us in a relationship as a question, saying she does not want us to hate each other, and if she ends up single forever and I just visit, she can live with that over us hating each other. Her parents divorced. An affair. And they still resent. She has it in her head that splitting up is the only way, putting blame on the marriage up to 10 years ago. I think I stated earlier our youngest is yet to turn 6. I have lost all hope. I really did not want to raise my kids in a divorced home. Morning update: she stayed at her sister's, not the first time, home this morning to see kids off to school. I calmly and nicely asked her to copy the budget. She did, so I can figure out what I need to do. Answer: it's not much, and a big frown when looking down from me. She talks about it Finn though like all is good in the world. She is supposed to go see a mortgage person today to see what she can afford. We have discussed legal separation. So, we just had a talk about the affair and a little of how our marriage got there. It was a polite conversation. She now looks distressed, but probably because the reality is she is done. I don't think any method will bring this back unless you with more experience believe otherwise. The conversation consisted of how she had been unhappy for a long time. Her body language response to 5 years would be that long. She says that she thought it was just the way it was supposed to be, so she did not speak up all that time. I told her if she only had, I would have worked to fix it. She is not over the other man. She is not in love with me anymore. I don't think 180s will do here. She wants to find a place and move out. She believes the children will not miss her. She doesn't see any other way. Says she wasn't happy for years and I should have seen it. But how do you pick up on these things with a W whose personality is quiet, not super loud? There's little to detect. So really, is there a chance to bring her back, or do I just face it and hold her off until after the holidays to tell the children? My last glimmer of hope is burning out. Last night's conversation was very cordial and calm. It did have an heightened moment, but not even raised voices. I have some alone time the next few days. I am going to reflect. I am going to reread things. The conversation last night in retrospect, now that I have let some emotions out on my own today, I think maybe allowed her to get some stuff out. I hope. She has not been willing to talk about it at all. I didn't ask any or questions to begin with. It began with the housing conversation and I asked what would make her happy, and she kind of went on about 10 minutes. We ended on an okay note. She cried a little when saying it was her happiness. I started to say how that was without kids and so on, and she went right on the defensive. She said she is not over and not over him. I asked if separation is still the only way. She said what other way is there? I said to work at it. Her body language slumped and sighed. She did get defensive about a D comment I made, so I recognize I need to increase the filter in my head and back off from 90% to 220%. Very hard to do. Her talk of taking care of things is that she can still do the bills, make sure we are all set, pick up the kids when she is not working. Like it's no biggie, just a divorce, but still taking care of each other. I don't know. I will heed your advice. I keep rereading the 180 list that has helped. Maybe these next few days of her with kids and me alone will help both of us. I do not expect a sudden change. I am not making excuses for her, just trying to decide how to act on it. I do not find it excusable. Since the closure call last week, they have been in contact at least 3 times. She knows I know, or she is completely delusional. He knows we know. I think is backing off, and that time with the kids is good for her, which could be good for me. I will not address this RT now. I will discuss with OM spouse after he goes to work. I am trying to educate her on your principles as well. I highly doubt she would agree to a no-contact letter right now. We have a counseling appointment coming up. Counselor is middle of the road. Would that be a better time to address it? We were supposed to bring real budget and separation plan. If I cause conflict in her weekend with the kids, that will go against me. I still find it inexcusable. Chances are he called her. That is what has been happening. Phone record will not show that until later. Will show other man spouse NC letters. My thoughts for the upcoming weeks. 1. Watch phone for frequency of calls before acting on this one. 2. Her behavior has been erratic towards me, so I was going to stay with backed off through the holidays. The kids being the #1 priority here. 3. I am covering my bases. Free legal consult. Do I keep it to myself, or is that a carrot and stick sort of thing? Do I tell her to get her thinking she thinks all is going to be great in D world? 4. I would like to pressure a no-contact letter, but right now I think if she even had a glimmer for this marriage, that would shut it down. 5. The other night she said how she was beginning to feel unwelcome here. I said because she has not been home and that she is welcome. She believes the children will not miss her if she goes. 6. Yeah, I need reminders. The 180 list in my pocket. She last week said she would sign the house to me. Do I make it happen? She sees her IC Tuesday. We see MC week after. That's when she is supposed to have separation plan organized and full detailed budget. I need a really pro-marriage counselor, not a middle-of-the-road one. This is not the average OM situation. It is not an at-work situation. Like I have said, OM is not a stranger. I cannot prove emails. OM has directly communicated to me or lied that he is done. My W says he is done, but she is not over it. And the way she said it, she wasn't lying. Do I still doubt? Yes. OM spouse says OM is behaving like he is done. Ramifications of full exposure without confirmation that things are still active. When D-Day hit about 8 weeks, we were in an argument and I was pushing what is wrong question and she just blurted it out. Now she wants to separate. They both say it's over. As I have said, I know the OM much better than I wish I did. And after D-Day we even spoke. He couldn't keep his mouth shut on more than one occasion and revealed things. My W still does not want to discuss the I know cheaters lie. But if it is really over, if I can't prove it is still ongoing, if I do a no contact and it forces them to say by prepaid cell phones, there goes any monitoring I have. The bigger picture is I think she is done. Either way, I still have a shimmer of hope. She was just pleasant to me on the phone, but she gets off in a rush to. Made sure I did by first. I don't want to put my family through the pain, especially the kids this close to Christmas. My W is very withdrawn. She said straight out to me she is not over it. The affair. She cannot avoid the hurt. I am not manipulating situations. I have been trying to wade through this as best as possible, and the advice here has helped. I have faltered. She is growing more distant, laying blame on years of RR. I know people will be hurt if RM falls apart, but I am sure that if I push that reveal exposure to all button right now, my kids will not have mom at home for Christmas. I need to speak with OM spouse. She is believing him 100 times easier than my behavior. I am currently hyper-vigilant, trusting next to no one. OM swears he ended it and it is over and he wants to save his M, but I can't prove if they are lying at meeting or not. I know they have had 3 phone calls. He tells his W, she tells me when we talk. My W wants privacy, does not want to do transparency. Straight up said she can't do that right now. One of the many reasons I have very little hope left. I am frustrated. I do appreciate the input if I had not found this forum. I don't know how I would be handling this at all. The OM had the audacity to contact me via text today. I remained polite. It was for a practical issue involving older children, close group. I told him to please speak to so-and-so. This went on for a few texts. He texted he would contact my W then, at which point I sent the final text telling him who to contact instead of me or her, and politely stated it would also be nice if he stopped contacting my wife so that I have a chance to save my family. I directly asked W if they talked and she admitted yes. Not about the subject he contacted me on. She very plainly stated they just talk. I was about to walk away when I very calmly, soft tone stated, I don't know what if anything is going to become of us, but if you keep talking to OM nothing will, or maybe I said can. I still plan to gather evidence, speak to other man's spouse, and plan this possible exposure. I hate this, hate what a D will do to my kids. I want to confront her. No, I think a ride instead. I am being very cautious, and warning OM spouse as well. She just wants to believe every word he says. I told her not to push no contact letter, because he should be willingly on board, and mentioned them possibly hiding the deeper if it was not truly over. I remain in a hyper-vigilant state and trying to detach. I still feel actions speak louder than words. I have seen no phone contact since Sunday. Does I mean anything? If her arrival and departure times get really off, then I will not think so little of it this time, as well as any and all other strange and changing behaviors. The only thing I cannot watch is email. She does it from her phone. I could contact her siblings she has been speaking with, but I said I would leave that trust alone. The only one she talks with. Everybody needs someone. Other man's spouse says he agrees to what she has written for NC letter so far, but disagrees on signing it. He feels he needs no advice and does not believe signing a letter is needed because he has told my W more than once it is done. That make me suspicious. The onset of the holidays and the kids may be beginning to affect her. We'll see. Doing the best I can for my kids right now. That helps me. She has never said she is done with our marriage. She is an emotional mess. I keep subtly reminding her I am here. Like a rock, she has never actually asked for a separation or divorce. When I did ask if that was what she wanted, she never would answer. I took everyone's advice and put those words away. She is taking baby steps towards a real separation. I will not ask for the divorce. She wants it, she can ask. I will not make that easy. She is still taking care of business. I am keeping an eye on everything. I will fight harder to fix it. My children deserve that. As messed up as this is, this marriage deserves it. Her sister knows the story and confronted OM according to OM spouse. OM spouse said he was going to send a NC text because he does not like letters. That may have been last night's one-way text. I will be following up. If I had told my W no, don't go look at places, that would have made her want to look more. So, when she said she was going, I said in my supportive friend voice, you know where I am if you need anything. She had a slightly surprised look on her face. I have come to realize through everyone's feedback and all my reading a better way to act, so I thank you all. I have read about validation. This could have been me in her shoes. She knows I do not want her to move out. My IC knows that our MC knows that I did tell her, but you need to do what you need to do and I can't stop you. That seemed to take some wind out of the sail. This morning calm conversation reveals that she says she is numb as far as her feelings go. She still feels the need to move to her own place. I reminded her how much I love her, how much she means to me and the family as a whole. She did not get upset. I said I could get over and through this and forgive her. Her response was that she is not sure if she could. She still has not directly asked for the separation or I essentially said if you need your time and space. I can't change that. I said things don't have to be final, yet she really did not respond. That's the nutshell. Well, she went on about some marriage things that upset her. I actively listened, did not argue. Most of them I cannot change because it is what our life evolved into, a change in roles due to employment changes. But she always said it did not bother her. Turns out it does. I am not exaggerating here, so on face value and her not getting mad, how is all that? It is paraphrased. My one mistake before that conversation was mentioning I wanted to go out tonight, asking if she still had something. She did and asked where I wanted to go. I said never mind. She perceived that as me keeping secrets. Made her not happy. I explained. She angrily explained all the details of how and why it made her mad. I was dumped in high school and did not get over for a long time, an 8-month girlfriend. Friends to relationship to physical to breakup and then on again off again. When I happened to run into her recently, the memories of the feelings were still there in an HS. She could have strung me along forever and did for quite a while. Now we are 20 plus years out from that, so how does a marriage ever really recover? Funny thing is, when I saw her, she behaved like she would have in high school until her H was around. I can say back then I was infatuated and the breakup, thinking back, was like a withdrawal. Well, I could have done without remembering all that. We always saw each other in high school, so forgetting and distancing was impossible. Well, MC reveals the confirmation to 100% that she wants to move out. Unless it's the fog. She has seen the walk away wife video and threw that in my face. Some marriage issues were discussed. The affair issues was not really discussed. She ended up saying she never said it was my fault. She has created the situation. She still is very angry, saying she trusts no one and is tired of broken promises. I haven't broken promises to her, and things not being done that people said they would do. She referred to the past, me not getting things done around the house and others not doing things. She said she just wants her own place. While angry, she said I can have everything, she doesn't want anything. I said I still did not know what she wanted. I was referring to long term. MC asked if it was D time. I said it was not what I wanted. When she asked my W, she did not respond, head down and so on. What does that mean? Anything. But she wants to move on a property of her own, so we need to do a separation agreement. Her purchase would keep her in the house for a couple more months. I'm not sure how to handle this. Continue trying to save or just div. But I don't want div. I also can't see how doing anything suggested helps. She did recognize where I have improved. She saw her IC and her demeanor was very different on the phone when she called. We are about 8 weeks since D-Day, about 12 days since other man told her off again, and 5 since he sent an NC text. So, is it like being back at starting point? As far as I can tell, there has been no contact unless she has been completely covert. She has been home more and home on time from work. Does anyone believe marital separations work? I am running parallel plans focusing on me and the kids, seeing what she does. Any advice is again welcome. I still do not want a D. I must be crazy. I just noticed the wedding picture is put away again. Our limited interaction yesterday. She was angry towards me. I have no real proof of any contact with other man, nothing on cell or text the date of the other night, but that could have been anything. Our communication on regular things is decreasing in quality. She is not communicating in my direction. Should I confront or ignore? When I confront, she usually clams up. MC hasn't helped much to work through emotions or the like. I am not sure what to do from here. I am beginning to see why people just choose the D as the seemingly easy option. I am also pretty sure she is truly depressed at this point, but is prob hiding it from her IC. She is very angry and said herself she doesn't know why. I probably sound like I pursue, but I don't. I vent a lot here. I am letting her lead. It seems to be more productive. She went and got papers today from the courthouse so she could buy her place, but she still won't say D. I guess we shall see when I get those papers. She's in a very happy mood. RT now. Drink. Meds. I don't know, wasn't home for a couple hours. She still only sees ending it as the fix. I tried to suggest separate and she needs to move out, fine, but why rush the D? She ended up crying. All I can do is wait and see. Take care of me and kids. Hope it's the fog. Darn, emotions still love her. She is going to file a paper. It is a matter of when. She said by Friday. Either way, she is fixated on buying this property. If we reconcile, it could be a good purchase. If I fight her, that's all it is going to be, is a fight. She knows I don't want her to move out. She can't see any other way. She needs the paper for financing, and in the same sentence she says she may feel different in 6 months. Some of her comments and actions make me think she truly is confused. But she may truly be done. A week or two later, she filed. I went to the courthouse and confirmed when I had my suspicions last week. Not served yet, maybe I'll get lucky and get past 30 days. She has no thoughts of reconciliation, she just expressed that we keep ending up arguing, and she finally said that's why she doesn't want to talk and she doesn't want to give me false hope. She said we have nothing to talk about. I said let's talk about the house she wants to buy. And I got a mean-spirited why so you can gloat over how bad of shape it is. Finally, we ended up talking like friends, like we used to talk. No fighting, no arguing, just conversation. Not that I want her in that house, but she talked. She just hasn't been talking. Divorced or married, I still need to parent with her. I suppose the longer it takes her to move out, the more chats we can have. I suppose I should avoid any our talk unless she brings it up. And in the meantime, I remain cautiously suspicious. We are both not trusting each other at this point. I also told her I was going to a divorce cares group tomorrow. She had no response. Maybe for the luck of the family she'll decide she wants to stay tonight. She complained she didn't want to go back to the way things were. Lots of stuff I didn't know bothered her so much. Life. Marriage stuff. And hopefully they are absolutely done contacting each other. Time will tell. She has been saying she needed to leave since D-Day. I first begged her not to go. I have since given her the open door. She has filed the papers but oddly enough has no clue when we will see them. She is a very organized person. She was supposed to complete a separation agreement 3 times in order for our MC to help us work out issues. She does not try to avoid counseling at all. So, I was letting her actions lead. No, maybe this is not on everyone's time frame, but it works for me and will shock her. I completed a separation agreement last night, draft in the watermark because it is not perfect. I will have the rundown of what has transpired since our last MC appointment. It has been weeks. I have let my W lead most times at the MC, seeing where she was going to take it. I plan to lead the discussion this time, nicely of course. So yes, I remain afraid for my children and the pain and sadness her finally leaving will create. I fear that she is putting on such a good game face with everyone except me that nobody else can see how emotionally off she is right now. And even an MC or an MD will probably not pick up on it unless she snaps. I am afraid that if I expose the whole truth to my mother, she will have a real cardiac issue. My dad may react violently and have a cardiac issue. They both have real health problems. My mom, at the discussion of us having marital difficulties, had a very negative response, emotional and physical. And that's not armature eval. I am medically trained, with long-term experience. I am no longer truly afraid of her not recommitting to this because right now she is not the woman I married, and I do not know how I feel about that. I no longer know for sure that I want her here. So, I choose to deal with this situation in less than a week, during a MC appointment, prepared with papers organized, from which appointment I will leave and bring her sister, her one trusted person she confides in, the same evidence of the ongoing contact. Her sister, who is convinced the contact is over as well. I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror 20 years from now. If I do not do it this way, I will not feel right. They, other man and my WW, truly believe we have no clue, like it is brand new. So, I do not see the confronting as a waste of time. You are only getting my typed words. I cannot fully express the rest of what I see, do, discuss with others, etc. So, I am not ignoring anyone's advice. Without it all, I would be curled up in a corner. I would not be making my stubborn decision. For me, I need to confront her on this. For me, I just realized that it's not a waste of time. It is what I need to do. For me to work through this, to know that I did everything I felt was right and made my decisions, even though they were not right on with everyone. This is how I need to do it. I need a third party there, because I know she has been twisting what happens. She knows the fate of this marriage is in her hands. I have made that clear. Few months later, she filed the D. Now she is mad and bitter over the child support she has to pay. I can't worry about it. I have 4 kids that need me. The 5th kid is old enough. I have not stayed stuck. She has. I have always had a long fuse. It's run out. I was solidly convicted to the M, and if she wanted D, she could file that part. She did. I can look in the mirror and not be ashamed. I know I tried. I have remained true to myself and my values. I have improved through this. I certainly can think of better paths to improvement. I can say that I see her behavior as that of a person who is afraid to face what she has done, the pain it causes her children and me. She has always avoided conflict. I never understood that until all this. I didn't know when she went silent it was to avoid conflict. From a woman who would only have a glass of wine or one wine cooler to one who drinks who knows how much. She has caused so much suffering to herself and her family that I believe the saying that if anyone knew what it would be like after an affair, they would not go down that road. Let's check some running behaviors. Drinking, increasing work hours, decreasing calls to kids, simply moving out of the marital home. Then the pain is not in her face. Not willing to talk about the real issues, avoiding a talk. Head in the sand, only repeats history. I can see that marriages can be saved, but you need a frame-up overhaul. Court tomorrow for a temp order. Half a year later. Projected divorce date is Sept 11. A bit ironic considering I am a military and fire guy. Currently the children are doing okay. I decided long ago and stuck to creating a positive environment for my children thanks to new supportive friends. I have unplugged from the matrix and seek more positive influence than negative. Things are and will be good. As the court date approaches, she becomes nicer. She still cannot express herself, and given I have educated myself extremely on this, so much of it all roots back to her past. It does not excuse the behaviors. I have simply chosen to understand the situation in order to be able to deal with it. Another reality is, what good would the rest of my life be harboring resentment, anger, and negative feelings? In the end, I would be the one suffering. My comment, I skipped over some parts, but I felt OP had too much wishful thinking. He hopes she would come back. The fact he has 4 children and she still cheat shows her desire for other man. There is nothing you can do. Sub and bell, and I'll be back after